Alright, so I bought this 1977 wood chipper. It's a Wayne FMC model, Wayne CT12. And the previous owner had owned it for about 2.5, 3 years. And what he told me is that when he bought it, there was a broken off spark plug. And luckily enough, they tried to take it out with an easy out, and of course, you know what happened? It broke off. So here's the spark plug that's broken off with an easy out that's broken off inside. So today I'm going to try to take that thing out. So the way I'm going to try to do this is I got a solid carbide burr bit, and I put it into my Harbor Freight die grinder, and it's pretty loud and it's pretty fast. I think it turns at about 20,000 RPM, 25,000 RPM. It's a 1/4 inch shank, and the bit alone was $30. We're in Canada, so it's a bit more expensive. That would be about $3 US. But anyways, $30 Canadian. So I'm going to see if I can chip away at that broken off easy out, and we'll see what happens. So this is after the first few minutes. I can kind of get some material out, but I guess I'm going to have to keep going and see what it looks like. I can't really tell where the easy out starts and where the spark plug ends, so I'll just keep plugging away and see what we got. So there's a little hole that appeared here, and I'm not quite sure what it is, but I guess it's all in or out, because if that sucker falls down into the cylinder head, I can't start the engine, the head will come off, and I really much rather not have to do that. So I got me a little chisel here. I'm going to try to see if I can break off some of that easy out. Probably not going to work, but I'll try. No, it just chewed up the bit. Oh well, it's worth a try. Okay, so I can start to see the beginning, or the end, I guess, of the easy out, starting at about 1 o'clock to about 5 o'clock. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but I'm going to keep plugging away and see if I can get the sucker out. Well, I got a second hole appear there at about 3 o'clock. Again, not quite sure what that means. Now the top, 10 to 11 o'clock, is still sticking up quite a bit, so I'm thinking they probably put in a easy out and melted it or something with a torch, so I don't know. I'm going to just keep plugging away there at the 10 and 11 o'clock and hope to be able to grind that down a bit. Well, it looks like they tried to drill holes around the easy out to get it out, but it didn't work. So, not sure what to do with this sucker. I'm going to take a few minutes and think about this. So I'm a little bit further in, and it looks like that's definitely the cylinder head there. Not sure if I'm going to be able to chisel that easy out, or if it's going to fall in. I'd rather not that happen. So maybe I'll grab a chisel and see if it wiggles at all. Okay, so the tip there is wiggling a little bit if I take a chisel. So what I'm going to try to do is see if I can wiggle it, but blow air into the hole there beside it. Hopefully that'll push it out and not fall in. Oh yeah! Woohoo! Look at that. It popped right out. This might be warm. Oh, fell down. Let's see if I can find that sucker. Yep, there it is. Holy crap, that sucker was tough. Alright, well, I still got the issue with the hole, but hopefully that should be okay now. We'll see how it goes. So I was able to see the bottom of the spark plug. Not sure if that'll show up. It's a little thing there at about 6 to 9 o'clock. And so I slightly bent it up, but I don't want to lose it inside. So I'm going to see if I can grab it with a set of pliers and maybe some a magnet. Okay, so here's the part of the spark plug. We'll see what else is in there. Okay, so there's another piece of the spark plug, the bottom ring. So the spark plug is out, but the thread is definitely out too. They butchered this thing when they drilled. There's like hardly any room left, so I'm not sure if they have a really big oversized spark plug or something, but yeah, they definitely butchered the thread for good. So I got this bolt fixing thread kit at Princess Auto, and I'm gonna try it, but I don't think it's big enough. I think the hole is too big. I don't think this is salvageable. Not with a regular helicoil anyway, so I just don't want to break that thing off in there. So that's what it looks like. Yeah, that thing is not big enough. Okay, so I have a crazy idea. I measured the hole and they drilled way too much, and the biggest dimension that I have is 664 thousandths. So the insert here is not going to work because that one is only 661 thousandths, and it's quite badly worn. So what I'm thinking I might do, I'm going to see if I can make use of the 3/8 NPT tap and die that I have, and if I am to drill a hole and tap it with the NPT, and then on the lathe grab a 3/4 inch bar and tap it with a die, a matching die, and then drill out the inside of the hole and make it to the metric equivalent of the spark plug, I might be able to put it in with an MPT and a sealant and then knurl the edges and kind of jam it in, and that might work. I'll give it a try. So I turned the end down to about 700 thousandths, and I had to do a manual start with an 18 threads per inch thread just to get the die started. And because I don't have a die holder for this big pipe thread, I put it in a vise, and there's a little groove on that end, so I just put a little keyway in there and tighten it up. So the keyway is actually going to prevent it from rotating. And I'm going to use a pipe wrench to cut the thread. There we go. Step 1 complete. So here I'm going to start center drilling, and I measured the helicoil insert, and it clocks at a bit over 500 thousandths, so 508 thousandths. So I'm going to see if I can drill it as close to half an inch as I can without going over, and then bore it to 507, and then see if I can thread the inside there. On second thought, I'm not going to use this drill bit. They have a tendency of snapping off right here because they made it really, really thin, and I don't want to try to dig out the tip of hardened drill a bit in the middle of that thing. So that was a 3/8 inch, and really nice golden chips. I think that's the first time that I've made these chips all yellow. Kind of cool. Literally looks like the tungsten coating on the drill bit. Cool. So I formulated a plan. I used a 3/4 inch piece of stock and used my 3/8 NPT die to cut the thread on the outside, and then I bored it to 12.8 millimeters, which is what I'm going to need to tap the M14 by 1.25 thread on the inside. So that should be the adapter that I can screw into the cylinder head. Then what I did is I took a little test piece here, just a piece of 1 inch steel, or 3/4 inch I think, and I drilled a hole and then used the corresponding tap to tap a hole into the piece of metal. And then as a test, I screwed it onto the fitting here, and it locks up right around where I want it to be. Just going to stick out a little bit at the end there, and the threads are well formed, so I think I should be good from that regards, and the depth of the fitting will match the depth of the head of the spark plug. So the research is done, so now what I'm going to have to do is take some progressively bigger drills. I think I can actually start with the 9/16, and then I'm going to drill it a little bit. The bottom part I'm only going to do a 9/16, but the top part where I'm starting with the tap, I'm going to do a 5/8. I don't have the required 37/64 drill bit, and this would be the closest. And so I tested it and it works. And if I keep the 9/16 at the bottom, I think that should tighten it up a little bit for the bottom of the tap. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure it's going to work out. A little bit nervous about it, but I think it'll be okay. So it looks like the 9/16 is probably not going to be big enough. I didn't get all the way over there, and even the rest, there's still some holes there that are showing up. So looks like I'm going to have to go up to 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch NPT. Okay, so what I ended up having to do is drill the hole out to an entire 3/4 inch because it was so badly marred that I had to go to the 1/2 inch NPT. So I drilled that out and got the tap ready. So what I ended up doing is, because I can't get in here with a wrench, I ended up taking just an extension, 1/2 inch extension, and put the tap in here. And then I should be able to put that in here and use the wrench on this end here. That ball might be a problem, but I guess we'll have to see how it goes. So I made another slight adjustment. The adjustable wrench was just putting too much one-sided pressure on it, so what I ended up doing is taking the back of this 15 16ths, and I welded a nut, a 15 16ths nut, to this bar, so I can put that on, and hopefully that's going to give me more balanced force. This is the plug I'm going to end up using. So I tested it. I'm still shy about 1 turn, maybe 1.5. So I'll do a little bit more. Okay, so the thread is done, and what I've done is I put it on the spark plug, and I put a good amount of the aluminum anti-seize on the inside of the fitting. And then I cleaned the outside real well with lacquer thinner, and on the outside I put some of the ultra copper advanced formula gasket maker. This is rated for high temperature, even up to the exhaust manifold temperatures. It's a Permatex product. I think it's quite common. So anyway, so the helicoil kit, repair kit, actually says that you're supposed to put some of the sealant on the outside. That's what I did. And then says you're supposed to finger tighten it until some of the silicone squeezes out, and then let it sit for an hour, and then do a final torque, and it should be cured within 24 hours. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's see how it turns out. So here's a final look. So here's a final look at the hole, and I'm quite pleased with the way that the thread turned out. And I cleaned it out really, really good with a magnet and blowing air in. So I think this is now ready for the insert. Okay, so the spark plug came right out because of the anti-seize compound. And this is what the repaired hole looks like. There's a little bit of silicone grease coming out. So I'm going to clean that up with a dental pick. And then I'm going to do a full torque in about an hour. Okay, so it's been an hour since I put it in, and I'm ready to give it the final torque. It turned out really nice. So I'm going to put the anti-seize on my spark plug. I still have some left from before, but I'll put some more on, and I'm going to tighten it real good without over tightening and breaking it off again. And then I'm just going to leave it in there, and hopefully we'll never have to take it out again as long as I own this machine. There we go. That should do it. Okay, so here's the finished wood chipper. I'm really happy the way that she turned out. Just had it inspected today. Got the sticker on it and registered, and she's running beautiful. So all I need to do now is replace 4 of the V-belts, and then I can start putting her to work. So I'll do a quick walk around. The engine is running now, just on idle. I ended up cutting the tank, so I can put this portable tank and 2 more jerry cans in there. The hold down strap for the battery. I'll still need to put a bit of a screen over here to cover that area so the dust doesn't get sucked in. Here's a beautiful registration. New wires, new lights. And I put a throttle cable in too, so if I jam it up. I am very, very happy with the way this turned out. Oh, I added some lights in the back. And all I did is I took a pipe, some well casing, 6-inch well casing, and cut it in half, and put 1/2 here as protector for the light bulb, and then the other one over here. So just in case there's branches and stuff that fall down. And put some nice paint on it, and I would say this is a successful project. So now I just really hope that it actually works to chip some wood. I guess we'll find out soon.